Hello and welcome to the show. I am Matthias Mazur. Welcome to Coach's Corner, the weekly episode that helps service providers, coaches, consultants, therapists, trainers to make more money. So, in today's episode, I have a lot of stuff to share with you. Today, we're going to talk about 15 steps to get more coaching clients. So, hello to everybody on Periscope. Let's see. Very good. Hello. Got some crazy hair going on. Okay. Hair is really long now. Anyway, let's get going. Let's see. Very good. So, a lot of stuff to share with you today. If you have any questions on Periscope, let me know. Thank you for the hearts, by the way. Like I said, a lot of techniques, 15 steps to really get more coaching clients. That's the theme of today's show. If you've been following this show for some time now, you know that everything is really done to help you coaches and consultants make more money, reduce your workload, and just have more time, right? So a lot of things, a lot of kind of not controversial, but kind of different, maybe some different strategies that you probably haven't heard anywhere else. The cool thing about these shows is that I really give you everything. We're together for about 40 to 60 minutes on average, and I just give you everything. The reason why is we don't sell training. I don't have an online training course to sell you. I don't have DVDs to sell you, right? How crazy is that? I'm just giving away everything I have, all the content. The reason why is because if you love this, which I'm sure you do, now if you love this and you want us to do everything for you, that's how we actually make money. I run an agency, full service agency, doing branding and also direct sales, so generating leads and making sales, closing deals for you. That's what our agency does. I won't talk about it today, so have a look at the website, matthiasmazur.com. If you want any more information, click on agency. Everything's in there, and reach out to us if you have any questions. Let's get going. So, as a service provider, I myself have been a service provider for a number of years until I noticed that providing a service there's so many different ways of providing a service that, I was a coach, I was a consultant for mainly online advertising, online marketing, business growth. I've actually built businesses, so I know what I'm talking about. But, it's generally feast or famine. So the problem with service providers is they have a ton of clients, and then it's, like, whoa, what's happening? Like, where's the next client, So it's difficult when you don't have any advertising systems, when you don't have any lead generation systems. So we'll talk about that today, but really what I'm giving away, what I'm doing with all these shows, whether it be Coach's Corner or Brand Up, my other show about branding and social media and new platforms, or the Dynamo Show, which is an interview show, or Get the Gig, which is also an interview show. Everything I do is really to give as much value to the world as possible, and to help you not be in a feast or famine situation. So specifically in Coach's Corner, we talk about advice and strategies and techniques for service providers. So if you've been, or if you are in that situation of, for a few weeks or a few months you have a lot of work, and then for a few months empty, right? It's like it's frustrating because you know that your service is good, you know that you're delivering a high value service, but how do you find clients? I've personally given dozens of seminars. We've put on dozens of seminars in the past 10 years. What's very difficult is really understanding that, not difficult, but what is frustrating is that there's a big difference between being, if you're a service provider, if you're a consultant now, you probably know you probably deliver your service very well, right? You're probably a rock star at what you do. The problem is you don't know how to get enough people to help. So you don't know how to position yourself, you don't know how to get leads, you don't know how to close deals. Even though you know how to be and you are probably a great service provider, you don't know how to get clients. So, there's a big disconnect. And I've been training entrepreneurs for over 10 years now, and there is a big disconnect between the service that someone can deliver because they love delivering the service, they love helping people, and unfortunately, this thing of, wow, I need clients. How do I get clients? How do I get new leads? And how do I convert leads into clients? So that's the theme of Coach's Corner. And specifically today, we're going to go over 15, I have them all here, 15 strategies to get more coaching clients, coaching, consulting clients. So I do these shows because there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of manipulative information, and I think it's time that someone just gave as much as possible, as much training as possible for free. The training I share, really, I could be selling this training. I could be selling this training, as part of a membership site for $100, $200 a month. I could be putting a big seminar about this. And the truth is, I'd rather give this out for free because I want you to have good results, and then I want you to tell people around you about us, and then they become a client of our agency. Or you become a client of our agency. So that's why we do this. So there's a lot of misinformation. I want to give as much as possible. I can give freely because I don't need to sell information. And I want you to get results. And if you execute what I'm going to share today, you definitely might. You might very well. Definitely is, I can't guarantee results, obviously, because I don't know if you can actually do this, but you might very well succeed with your service-based business. So let's get going. Number one, strategy number one to get more clients is to be proactive. Proactive, what do I mean by that? Well, being a service provider is very similar to being an actor or a singer, a musician, an artist. And if you check out one of my other shows called Get the Gig, where I interview big producers and casting directors and entertainment investors, it's very interesting because there's a big correlation between the amount of action an artist takes and the number of roles and the work he gets. It's the same in business. It's the same with if you're a service provider. A lot of service providers are great, as I said, they're very good service providers, but they have no idea how to get leads, and they wait for people to recommend them. They wait for referrals, and look, it's not gonna happen, right? We'll talk about referrals, but you need to have a system in place. You need to be proactive. You need to proactively market yourself. What does that mean? It means picking up the phone and maybe cold calling. And some people will say, oh, cold calling sucks, cold calling is over. Well, if you're not doing anything right now, cold calling might very well save your business. So that's just one example of being proactive. Another example of being proactive is, knocking on doors and going to see the local Chamber of Commerce and offering to speak for free to entrepreneurs. So really creating, going outbound, not just waiting for inbound. And look, I'm an inbound marketer. What I mean by that is, we create all this content, we advertise, and we generate leads. So inbound marketing is in my DNA, direct response is in my DNA, but going out and actually proactively reaching out to people, that's one of the big ways to get new business. So being proactive is really a mindset. It's really a mindset of understanding that you might be the best service provider in the world. If no one knows about it, no one's going to pay you. So Don't get into that dynamic of what artists get into, where they wait for the phone to ring, they wait for the agent to call them. No, pick up the phone and make the phone call. Pick up the phone and call the Chamber of Commerce to go speak. Write a book, publish articles, make video shows like we're doing now. Do periscopes. You really want to be proactive. That's number one. It's a mindset thing. And again, I'm going to give you specifics and strategies, but again, it starts in your mind. So being proactive is the number one thing. Understanding that there's nothing wrong with going outside and reaching outside and doing outbound stuff rather than just waiting for inbound. Both work, right? But if today you don't have enough clients, do something. So that's number one thing. Number two is charge high fees. I talk a lot about this. I covered this extensively in episode 2. First question of episode 2. I think I talked about this last week. If not, I will create a full course on charging high fees for free. I know other people out there are charging $5,000 for this information. I could be charging that. I could be charging double that because I know how to close deals. So I could definitely sell this for 10K. But I want to give this away for free because this information needs to be known. Charge high fees. There's 3 reasons why you're not charging high fees. Number one is you're afraid. Some people are like, well, if I charge more money, maybe I'll lose a few clients. And yeah, maybe you will. That's the reality. But you'll repel clients who, are cheap, and you'll get clients who are happy to spend more money. So charge high fees. I can guarantee, when prospects and clients reach out to us for help, 9 times out of 10 they're charging a fifth of, or a tenth sometimes, of what they should be charging. One of our clients was selling a seminar. He was charging 300 euros, so about $300 for his seats. It was a 2 or 3 day seminar, and I said, look, you need to 10x that. You need to charge 3K, 3,000 US. And at the beginning he was like, it sounds a bit too much, I don't know. I said, charge 3,000 and use the system we have, which is then having a conversation, a one-on-one, like I'm going to tell you about, a one-on-one conversation with your prospects, and tell them, explain to them what you do, and and have a specific conversation, which is called a strategy session. And he sold 14 spots at 3,000, so he made $42,000 by 10xing his price. You really want to, and everyone on Periscope, if you have any questions, let me know. You really want to charge high fees. You want to be the Bentley in the marketplace. You never want to be the cheap and the low end provider. You want to charge high fees for several reasons. Number one, your positioning will be much better. Okay. Number two, you will make more money, and number three, you'll have to work less. That's the 3 main reasons. The positioning thing is huge, because if you're the top dog, if you're the big dog in the industry, you will attract serious clients. If you're a personal trainer and you charge like $50 an hour, no one's really going to pay attention to you. If you're a personal trainer and you charge $500 an hour, you'll get CEOs, executives will pay you, you'll get celebrities, you'll get people who have money and who can afford and who understand the value that you're delivering. Most of the time, what we found is that the cheaper the service, the tougher the more customer service we need to do, and the tougher the tougher the expectations with clients. Clients expect more when they pay less sometimes, whereas someone who really values your time, who pays you more, is happier because they actually listen to you and they execute on what you tell them. So charge high fees. I cover this in depth in my book, so definitely want to get my book. I actually give you the whole script that we use. We've used to, the script has made over $50 million, so you definitely want to use that script. It's in my book. For like $15, you get the whole book and the script. So definitely check that out, or just go to my blog. You know, we have the script for free on the blog too. Charge high fees. Number 3 is stop doing one-on-one. If you're doing one-on-one, you're hurting yourself. You're killing your business. You're killing your health and your life. The reason why is, you know, what happens if you want to stop working? What happens if you want to go on vacation? What happens if you're sick? What happens if you do phone coaching, for example, and you lose your voice? What happens when you're just too tired and you just want to step back for a bit? You don't make any money, right? So you want to stop doing one-on-one, and this might seem a bit controversial because, you know, the consulting space is very based around like hourly fees. I don't like hourly fees. I never tell anyone to do hourly fees. If you're gonna do hourly fees, charge $10,000 an hour. You know, do something outrageous. What you want to do is you want to charge by value. You want to charge by value and by package. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, if you're a business consultant, a business advisor, and you create campaigns, direct mail campaigns, advertising campaigns, social media campaigns, don't charge by the hour, $50 or $100 per hour. You want to charge by campaign. For example, if you do a revamp of a brand, you want to charge 20K or 10K if you're still a bit, you know, if you still have issues opening your mind. Which, by the way, I'm not criticizing, you know, for me it was more natural going high end because I remember selling my first home study program, which was in 2007, sold it for 2,000 euros, which was at the time about 3,000 US with conversion currency exchange. So, you know, I've always been used to selling high-end products in that market. So that market at the time was used to selling $50 to $100 products, and I came out with a $3,000 product. So immediately the positioning was much higher. You know, I always advocate going high-end. Always be the Bentley of the market. Always be the private jet of the market. Stop doing one-on-one because it's not sustainable. If you're doing one-on-one, let's say even if you have a packed roster of clients and you're doing 40 hours a week, which is a lot of coaching and consulting, you know, you can't grow. You really cannot grow. It's really, you have an income ceiling. It's not sustainable. It's really, really exhausting. And so, and if you're doing that at the moment, you know that it's exhausting. And again, when you stop working, when you want to travel, it's over. Like you can't make money. But if you charge per campaign, for example, or if you get huge results for clients and I don't know, you save them $1 million a year in, you know, in advertising expenses or in electricity, you can charge 10% of that because you're giving them an extra $1 million. So if you negotiate well, there's not going to be any issue for them to give you 10 or 15 or 20%, right? So you really want to stop doing one-on-one. That's number 3. And that is a way to get clients because you don't want people who, you know, who buy you by the hour, because clients want results. You want to get clients who want results, not who just want to spend time with you, right? When you go to the dentist or when you go to the doctor, do you want to spend hours and weeks and months, years going to the doctor? Or do you want to just, you know, I can't make that noise, by the way, I suck, but you get it. You want it fixed. You want it fixed now. Clients who come to you, that's the same thing. They want it fixed now. If you can make people lose weight overnight, you can sell that for millions, right? If you can help companies grow, you can sell that for millions. So don't charge by the hour. It's not good for you. It's not good for the client. Number 4, narrow down and get specific. This is huge because we'll get into online advertising, but you really need to understand if, for example, if you're a life coach, I always make kind of fun of life coaches, of the title, not of people, but of the title, because it's very broad. It's just too broad. It's like saying, yeah, I mean, I'm a human being. I mean, you know, it's so generic that if you're a life coach, don't take this the wrong way, but you know, don't take what I just said in the wrong way, but you need to narrow it down. If you want to do coaching, great. I mean, I've been coached since I was 8 years old, even younger actually. I started tennis when I was 3. So I've had coaches since I was 3 years old when I was playing pro tennis. So what you want to do is you really want to narrow it down. You want to be the coach to busy executives, right? And that's your niche. Or you want to be, you only want to consult for businesses that do between 1 to 5 million a year, and that's your target market. Or you want to be you want to train, like if you're a PT or personal trainer, you only train golfers, for example. So you really want to pick your battles. And yes, you'll be sacrificing segments of the market, but when you get narrow, that's when you can raise your fees. That's when you become an authority. That's when you can pick and choose your clients. If you're Mr. Generic, how are you gonna establish your authority if you don't have any specific area of expertise? So even if you have several areas of expertise, you really want to choose which one you want to go first. And look, you can have several areas, but you really want to brand it differently. So you don't want to be the general coach. You want to be, like I said, the executive coach, like only for CEOs or only for CMOs. Just pick your battles. And then you can have, you also want to coach, for example, I don't know, college students. You can be a coach for executives, but you can also allocate, I don't know, 30% or 50% of your time to coaching college students, but it's a different brand, right? So narrow down and get specific. You need to know who is your target market. Number 4, becoming an authority. I talked about this, I think this was episode 3 or 4, where I talked about how to become an authority. You need to publish. You need to publish content. You need to write a book. I'm actually going to record a full episode about how to write a book in a weekend, because that's what I did. So I'm just going to walk you through the whole system of how to write a book in a weekend. Check it out, because it's pretty amazing how to write a book in a weekend. It's probably going to be the next episode or the one after that. So, but write a book, because people who, authors have instant credibility. You want to publish on LinkedIn, you want to publish on Medium, you want to publish on your blog. You need to have a hub, you need to have a publishing platform that you control. So yes, you want to use all platforms, like I said, Facebook, Twitter. Even Twitter is publishing, those 140 characters, you can say a lot of things in 140 characters. Facebook, Twitter, Medium, Tumblr, LinkedIn, your blog. Sorry, that's really enough of, enough platforms for you to publish. So you need to become the #1 person of your market. That's why being Mr. Generic is not going to work. That's why if you are Mr. Generic right now, pick your battles. Get a publishing calendar. Commit to 1 year of publishing every week, one full blog article. Every day, a nice picture or a quote. Twice a month, a webinar. Just pick what works for you, but create a calendar, right? Because if you just say, I'm just going to make a video today, you'll do it once, twice, and you'll never do it again. So you need to have a calendar. I think this was in the previous episode, I actually talked about the system we use to create content and how to repurpose content, I think. Oh, no. Funny. Small insect. I'd love to show it to you, but I don't think. Anyway. Number 5 is becoming an authority. Having a publishing calendar and really committing to publishing regularly. So if it's once a week, it's once a week. We do it a lot. As you can see, we have content all over the place. But for us, it works. For us, it's a system. We have it down. I have my team doing it, so it's fine. But you just need to find what works for you and then do it consistently. Number 6 is have a marketing-based website. Have a marketing-based website. So you need to have a website that is geared towards direct response. Quick definition of direct response for everybody on Periscope. Everybody needs to have a direct response website. When people go to your site, they need to be able to reach out to you. They need to be able to call you. They need to be able to contact you, fill out a form, buy a product, buy a book. They need to be able to elicit, your site needs to elicit a response, right? Also, your website needs to have proof elements, you know, quotes and endorsements from other people, books, if you've written a book, even if you've written an article, if you're published, I don't know, if you have a column in a newspaper, everything you can have as a credibility booster needs to be on your blog. So, you know, there's still some life coaches or some business coaches or personal trainers or, you know, business executive coaches who just have, you know, a one-page site with a picture and like a contact me. That doesn't help anyone, because you need to think of this. When someone comes to your property online, they need to be marketed to. Because when you get on the phone with them or when they see you at an event, they already need to be sold on what you do. And the only way you can do that is to actually have heavy lifting marketing on your website. So your website needs to be marketing based. You need to have proof elements, you need to have video. If you have video, you know, this is 2015, like you need to have video. You need to have, you know, maybe videos of you speaking on stage, or just having a mic, you know, and when you're speaking, maybe, you know, small events in your area, published, anything that's published. If your name or your brand has appeared on different, different big websites like, I don't know, the Wall Street Journal, the Times, Fortune, you want to have all those logos on your website. So when someone hits your website, it's like, wow, you know, it's a first impression and they can see that you're the real deal. So that in itself will get you more clients than just like a random one-page site with nothing, you know, or just like your picture smiling. So use your website. Your website is a conversion mechanism, or should be a conversion mechanism. If it's not, you need help. You need help because everything you publish online needs to establish you as the authority, okay? That was number 6, having a marketing-based website. Number 7 is doing video. You need to use video. Again, like I said, this is 2015. Video is so cheap now. I remember when I started doing videos online in 2007, I had to buy this, you know, pretty big camera because, you know, phones weren't able to make videos. I think I paid at least $1,500. Now for $1,500 you have an insane camera, right? Every iPhone is enough to make videos. You just buy this kind of like the small stand, a tripod, and you can make videos. You need to have videos online just because people connect with you much better, right? And look, you need to be yourself. One of my rules is that I don't wear a suit and tie. You know, I'm a young guy. You know, I grew up online. I grew up building businesses and speaking around the world, and you know, and now I'm also producing and investing and acting in movies. So I'm a very laid-back guy. I love business. I'm a born entrepreneur, but at the same time, I don't wear a suit and tie. And some people who watch this, who watch my shows, are like, you know, he doesn't wear a suit. I don't trust him. So, you know, it's fine. But for me, that's who I am, right? So you need to really express and be fine with who you are, which means sometimes maybe just, you know, thinking of who you are and who you don't want to be. And for me, it's like you'll never see me with a suit and tie, other than if I have to go to a wedding, right? That's like the only time where I actually allow myself to dress in a suit and tie, just because, out of respect for you know, for who's inviting me. But for business, I just, you know, this is how I roll, you know. So you'll see me with a hoodie, you'll see me at most with a shirt if it's really corporate, but that's pretty much it. So use video because it conveys all this, right? My language is very, you know, some people don't like what I do. Some people love it. You know, some people think that I have too much hair, you know? So, you know, but it's fine because everyone who connects to you will be pre-sold on something, right? And people who don't want to connect with you, that's why video is so powerful, because it kind of weeds out. It's like a filter. People who contact you will know exactly what you're about. They kind of feel your energy, you know, most likely they'll like you, and they'll feel like, yeah, this is a normal human being that I'd have to like a drink with, you know, and that I can do business with. So that's my thought about using video. It's not as much to sell than it is to really convey who you are and, yeah, what kind of person you are. That's number 7. Number 8 is using live video. So as you can see, we're shooting this. This is actually recorded, and we have Periscope. Hey everyone, Periscope. And using live video, I can ask questions, and Periscope can, you know, people can ask me questions. I can reply. You know, I think live video is probably one of the biggest game changers in modern history in terms of marketing, because everyone can broadcast. I can broadcast from my phone. You know, before you had to have all this technology. I remember we were doing live video seminars in 2007, and we were using a service called Livestream or Ustream. I think we used both. It was $200 a month. That was the cheapest plan. I think it was $200 a month. I mean, it was $2,500 a year for broadcasting. Now it's free. Now you can do it for free. And also you have the interaction. So amazing. Check out Periscope. How to use Periscope for business. I have a video on my blog that talks about that. You want to use live video. It's amazing for just building a relationship and being able to connect with audiences, answering questions. You know, it's just something that is very, very easy to do, so take advantage of it. And it's free. So Periscope is the big one. Actually, they're all big, but you know, it's interesting because Periscope came out in March or April, I think. Meerkat came out that week or maybe a couple weeks before. And Facebook is coming out with this huge thing that they just want to take over the market, you know, of live video. So it's Periscope, Meerkat, and Facebook. Facebook is called Facebook Mention or Facebook Mentions. It's still at this point, you know, mid-August. It's still available only for celebrities. But by the time you watch this, maybe in a few weeks or a few months, it'll be available for everyone. So check it out. Number 9 is let your personality shine. So whenever you're publishing something, whenever you're talking with a prospective client, whenever you're making a video, whatever you're doing in marketing, you really want to be yourself. Like I said, you want to, you don't want to emulate someone, right? You don't want to. That's what people do, you know. Like I have, for example, people see this show. And then they're like, wow, you know, I really want to do this show every day or every week. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, do it if it's you, right? For us, for me, it works doing 4 shows a week. This is huge for us. And I love creating content, so I can jam all day like this. But for some people, it's difficult. So you need to find what's right for you. Maybe doing a 15-minute video a week is enough for you. So, you know, I say 15-minute video because you can have a look at my previous episode. I think this is episode 3 or 4. In that episode, I share exactly from a 15-minute video how much you can repurpose that content to really, you know, dominate in social media. So again, let your personality shine. Don't try to be someone that you're not. Be yourself. You know, I know it's very cliche, but the truth is, you know, I would rather turn away a client by being myself than get a client and kind of make me uncomfortable, right? So you need to reach a stage where you're comfortable with yourself, where you can really do these shows and act like kind of crazy and be fine with it. And that's how it is, you know? And so video is amazing for that. And you'll attract the right people when you actually let your personality shine. Number 10, clients' results. You need to publish the results that your clients are getting. First of all, obviously, ask your clients if you can publish their results. And then you really want to leverage that, because one of the main reasons, I actually believe there's three reasons why people don't do business with you. Number one is they don't believe you. So they don't believe the statements, Number two is they believe you, but they don't think that it's possible for them. And number three is they don't have the money. Like they're not resourceful enough. I actually believe that for pretty much everything, anyone can find money if it's necessary. Look, everyone says, people are talking about the economy being bad, but everyone walks around with an iPhone, right? I mean, look at how many smartphones that cost 500 or $1,000 are out there, right? So people spend money for things that they consider are important, and they won't. Everyone says, yeah, I want to eat healthy, I want to work out, but then they say, oh yeah, but it's expensive. Well, it's a choice, right? So it's the same thing with the way we vote with our wallets. So coming back to this thing of publishing and showcasing clients' results, the only reason why people come to you is really for results. I mean, when you reach out to doctors, you don't want to become best friends with a doctor. You want to get rid of a problem. So when you're a service provider, generally people come to you because they want to get rid of a problem. Even if they don't say it, you need to know your market well enough to know that that's the problem they come to solve. So use client results, testimonials, video testimonials. It can be text testimonials, or endorsements are fine too, but really showcasing what kind of results have your clients gotten. Because I can guarantee you, if you've been in business for some time now, there are people who want to do business with you, who've thought of doing business with you, but they still have that, can he or she really get me the results that I want? So publish that. It's just credibility. Number 11, be everywhere. You got to be everywhere on social media. You got to be on all the platforms. You got to check out my show called Brand Up. I talk about all this branding. You want to be on Facebook. You want to be on Twitter. You want to be on Instagram. You want to be on Vine. You want to be on Medium, Tumblr, LinkedIn, Snapchat. There's like 8 platforms I just said that you need to be on, right? So social media is a free tool. The only way that you actually pay is with your time. Or if you want to, get someone else to do it for you, which I recommend. If you're a service provider, I wouldn't spend my time doing it, so either get someone to do it for you in-house, or ask us, because that's what we do in the agency. So bottom line is, if you're not on social media, you don't exist. And yes, I know there's probably some people watching this saying like, well, I don't have a Facebook page, but my business is fine. And I would say, sure, it's fine, but how is it going to be in 5 years from now, right? Because social media is a long-term play. If you start doing social media now, you'll see the results in 6 months, a year, maybe 2-3 years. That's when you'll destroy everything on social media. But starting in 5 years is going to be too late. So, understand that social media is a long-term play, and you need to get going now. You need to have, like I said, a publishing calendar, an editorial calendar, where you're publishing stuff consistently on all these platforms. Number 12, you need to pay to be everywhere. So you need to be willing to pay to advertise. So to advertise, to get your name out there. The number one way today to do this is Facebook. You need to be on Facebook. You need to be paying to be on Facebook, meaning doing Facebook ads. Even if it's just $5 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day, who cares? You need to work out a budget that works for you, and you need to be doing Facebook ads. That's why you need to narrow it down. Remember, point number 4 was narrowing down and being specific. Because when you're specific with Facebook ads, you can actually place your ads in front of that exact demographic. On Facebook, you can target executives. You can target people who've liked, Game of Thrones. You can target people who love music. So you can target, there's so many ways to target people, through Facebook advertising. And you need to be willing to spend money to get clients. Look, I think that a lot of service providers think that it's only based on referrals, right? So this whole referral-based business. Referrals are great, but they're not sustainable. And if you've had a feast or famine business, you know that it's not sustainable. You know that you can have great months where people recommend you, and luckily you get clients. And then if you don't have any lead generation systems, which means if you don't have any online marketing systems and tools to get leads and advertising to get leads, how are you going to manage when referrals die, right? So that's the reality of things. You need to advertise, even if you're still kind of skeptical, just do it a bit, and then you'll see. Start with $10 a day. It's $300 a month. I mean, if you're serious, go bigger. But that's what you need to do. Number 13 is you need to learn to convert. You need to learn how to sell, how to convert prospects into clients. You need to buy my book, because in the book I actually give you the whole system. I give you the script, the exact script that we've used in my own companies and that we give our clients. This is the script that my agency uses to close deals and make sales for our clients. It's sold over $50 million worth of sales, in services over the past few years. So you need to have that script. It's a very short script. It's about 2 pages. It's the best way to convert prospects into clients without any manipulation, without any kind of, trickery. It's just having a 30 to 40 minute conversation, and you can convert prospects into multi-thousand dollar clients. Getting tired. Multi-thousand dollar clients. So you need to understand how to convert prospects into customers. And for that, you need to learn sales, right? Or have someone else do that for you. So hiring, a sales rep, for example, having a, business development person in your company, having a salesperson, doing it yourself, or you can reach out to us, we can do it for you. But you need to understand sales. If your business is like this, you need to understand how to close deals. If you know how to close deals, you need to understand how to get more leads, and that's another thing. You need to get more leads. In that case, we can help too. But again, you can do all this yourself. So, that's the game. You need to generate leads and you need to convert those leads into clients. Number 14 is asking for referrals. Like I said, I don't want to, come across as bashing referrals. I think it's an amazing source of business. It's free. And right now, if you have a customer base, a client base, go to those clients and ask them, look, if you like, my work, who could you recommend to me? Who could you recommend who could benefit from my work? And I can guarantee there's at least 20, maybe 50, maybe 100,000, maybe $1 million worth of referrals in your current base of clients. So ask for referrals. Referrals don't come by themselves. You need to ask for them. You need to actively ask, for your clients. Who do you know? Like, do you know anyone who could use my service? Could you recommend them? Could you shoot them a small email? For referrals, I would actually type an email, a template for your clients, and say, hey, can you just fill in the blanks here and just send it to people who you could recommend me to. So asking for referrals, don't wait for referrals. This comes back to what I said about being proactive. You need to go out. You need to go out. And number 15 is outsourcing. You need to understand how to outsource. You need to outsource. For example, all the graphic work that you have on Facebook for your header image. How does that look? On your Twitter, how does that look? On your Tumblr, the header image. Think of the first time someone comes to your site or your properties, what impression does that give? Is it a good impression? Is it like, you know, this guy knows what this guy or this girl, again, I say he because it's just easier to, you know, to talk, but, you know, do your properties give, you know, give your viewer the feeling that you know your stuff and that you can actually help them? If you're not a graphic designer, get someone else to do it. I mean, don't learn Photoshop, right? It's going to take you weeks and months to do it, and it could take someone else an hour, maybe a few days at most to do everything, right? So outsource the graphic work, outsource the tech work, outsource sales if you don't want to do sales, outsource the small things that you feel you're not the best at, so you can really get, you know, you can really spend time, you know, starting to leverage the relationships you have, starting to leverage what you have, like the value you have. And that's really how you can grow, because generally most service providers that we've, you know, that, I mean, I've met literally hundreds in the past few years, you know, in the last 10 years, I don't know, maybe, I mean, I've spoken in front of thousands of people, so I'd say thousands of service providers, but I've had conversations one-on-one with hundreds. The truth is, most service providers spend time doing things that they should not be doing. And so they try to do a bit of Facebook, a bit of Twitter, change this graphic, add this plugin on Facebook. I mean, they try to do things that they don't know how to do. So outsource that. Go to a site like Upwork. Upwork.com is the platform that was before known as Odesk and Elance. They merged and it's called Upwork. You'll find incredible talent who can do your stuff, you know, who can do all your graphic and your tech work and your video work, your audio editing, everything. So do that, outsource, so you can really focus on what you do best. That's it for these 15 strategies. That was a pretty intense show. I'm really happy. It was intense. So what to do next? If you're on YouTube, check out the links in the description below. You can definitely go to my site, sign up. There's hundreds of hours of training like this, much more in depth and different, you know, in different aspects. You definitely want to subscribe for YouTube. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. You definitely want to check out, if you're a service provider, check out the script. The sales script is on my blog too. And if you want us to do your lead generation, if you want us to do your sales, literally getting leads for you and selling for you, reach out to us. We'll help you raise your prices and we'll take care of everything for you. So you just focus on delivering the service. That's it. I hope you had fun. If there's anything, just reach out to me on social media, connect. I'd love to talk. I'd love to see how we can help you, and I'll talk to you in next week's episode.
Go to MatthiasMazur.com to watch more episodes of Coach's Corner and connect with Matthias on social media. See the links in the description below.